My name is Rachel Whittington, and I grew up in a place called Beach City. Well, thanks. I was not that way growing up. I loved doing crazy things and getting in trouble. It was really fun. I would throw some birdseed over by the duck pen, yeah, innocently. I'd walk away, I'd hide, wait for a bunch of birds, wild ones, to fly down and start eating the seed, and then all of a sudden I'd jump out and I'd scare them and they'd all fly into the pen, and I'd be like, yes! And I'd shut the pen and I'd have a bunch of birds flying around, and so I'd put on some garden gloves. I'm like, I'm gonna go catch some birdies! And so I'd go into the pen, I would catch one of the birds gently, and I'd look out, I'd run in the house and be like, Mom, look! I caught a white-crowned sparrow! Look at this! And she'd take my picture with it. She's like, please let it go. Leave the wildlife alone. Well, one of the things we used to do when we walked the shoreline together, my brother and I, we would put together forts and we would build them out of driftwood, random tarps, buoys that we'd find, bamboo. We'd put together these cool little forts, and it would be really fun because we'd play with the kids from the neighborhood. They would build their fort on the opposite side of the rocks and we would build ours. And we kind of have a battle and a rivalry going, you know, like castles fighting against each other. Of course, we used to have water guns, and we would make swords out of bamboo sticks. And so we would charge down the other area, but we'd do it very carefully. So we'd crawl up on the bulkhead, we'd creep around carefully, we'd jump the fence, and then we'd surprise them from the other side. It involved roller skates and the newspapers that they would throw out. Like the paper boy would come and throw newspapers in the little plastic things. We'd make them into nunchucks. And we'd start roller skating past each other, and we'd start whipping each other with these newspapers. And a couple kids fell on the roller skates and they ran home and they cried, and the mothers would come to our door and be like, no more nunchucks! Not allowed to play that anymore, you're injuring kids! One day I decided this is not working out. I'm not having fun. I don't like playing with Barbies anymore. So, being the crazy little kid that I was, I just ripped one's head off and said, what can I do with this? And then I got to thinking, this would be really interesting if I put it in this Gatorade bottle that I have. So I took an empty Gatorade bottle, shoved the head in the Gatorade bottle, and wrote out what I called the Barbie curse. It was basically a message in a bottle saying, whoever finds this Barbie, this undead soul of this Barbie in this bottle will be cursed for life with the Barbie curse, and some very bad things will happen to you. And so I put that in the bottle, I sealed it, and the next time that my brother and I went out on the boat, I chunked it into the water. Hopefully the Barbie curse is not still floating around out there, so if it is, I'm really sorry, Beach City.
Daddy's little girl, sure got a spice.